Chosen ones, understand this. Your rise was never meant to be subtle. It was meant to shake thrones. They tried to ignore you, pretend your light didn't shine, and dismiss your quiet evolution as insignificance. But the silence around you has now become thunder. Your name is carried by the wind, whispered in meetings they never intended you to be part of. The rumors they laughed off have turned into headlines. The doubt they cast has turned into confirmation. And now Elon, just like the rest, has no choice but to take notice. While they were busy overlooking you, you were being refined. While they underestimated you, heaven was orchestrating your visibility. The transformation you've undergone isn't just external. It radiates from your very core, a frequency too high to go unnoticed any longer. Now, the very ones who once ignored your presence are unsettled by your power. You were never supposed to fit their mold. You were designed to break it. And as the world watches you ascend, know this: every overlooked moment, every dismissal, every quiet storm you weathered, it was all preparing you for the moment when even the Elons of the world would realize. Ignoring you was their gravest miscalculation. With every fresh disclosure, the person who rejected you becomes agitated and ill as the rumor pours in like torrents. They are struck like poison on raw sores by every drop of knowledge about your increasing prominence. Since they are unable to avoid hearing about your greatness, reality is striking them hard. Their deepest sorrow is heightened by the new proof of your amazing growth that they discover at every corner. Your special talents are dazzlingly intense. Now, the skills you've always had get the credit they deserve. Everyone who sees your unique skills, those same skills that were previously disregarded or undervalued, now pays attention to and respects you. News of a unique soul whose brightness defies the norm travels swiftly. You own that soul. People are drawn to you like moths to flame because of the enigmatic characteristic that has always made you stand out. They sense your strength, they react to it, they discuss it. And when the person who turned away hears all of this, they get very agitated and ill with regret as the terrible truth of their huge regret keeps striking them hard. They are now totally betrayed by their body. An internal volcano of remorse erupts into physical manifestations. The cadence of your name causes migraines to pound behind their eyelids. When they think of what may have been, waves of nausea rise. The weight of their poor decisions makes their limbs seem heavy. They can't sleep. Nightmares are waiting for them when fatigue finally drags them down. They gasp when they wake up, your picture vanishing from their consciousness. They lose their appetite. In their mouth, food turns to ash. The body retains the score and demands that the accumulated spiritual debt be paid. Take note of how the cosmos collects its cost. The bombardment of ongoing stress impairs their immune system. They are unable to hold on to their energy, which escapes them like water through cupped hands. The spiritual truth is reflected in the bodily manifestation. In the face of their acts' repercussions, they stand broken. What the tongue cannot admit, the body speaks. Their physical shape is a testament to the inside conflict, shown via pain and weakness. In the cosmic court, where people are found guilty by their own decisions, each symptom is proof. It is only now that they realize what has always been in front of them. You were a diamond of immeasurable value, the rarest of gems. There is no other place in the entire cosmos that has the special mix of attributes that you have. They looked into the faces of 1,000 people and only discovered pieces of what you have to give in terms of totality. They are devastated by the discovery. With ruthless clarity, they realize that what they discard cannot be recreated or restored. You are still unique. You have a unique spirit. The strength you possess, the empathy you provide, and the knowledge you bear. These attributes only come together in you. With agonizing intensity, they now acknowledge this reality. Your unique presence was more than the sum of four others. This logical impossibility is very clear to them. It is now impossible to balance the equation. There is no solution to the formula. There is no way to remedy the issue. No amount of fresh experiences or relationships can make up for what they lost. Moments when your actual nature becomes apparent are replayed in their thoughts. Moments they were unable to identify or value. Little gestures of compassion, deep realizations, and steadfast assistance. Since these recollections serve as proof of their blindness, they pierce deeper than any knife. The prize was shining in their line of sight. However, they veered off course to pursue delusions that have since vanished. Their soul is left with holes from this awakening that will never be filled. Every tranquil moment is haunted by the awareness of what they were unable to acknowledge. They can plainly see what was in front of them when they shut their eyes. A connection that comes just once in a lifetime. They did not appreciate the uniqueness of that soul. This realization turns into their reality as well as their suffering. You grow while others shrink. You are evolving at a pace that is beyond comprehension. Instead of destroying you, the difficulties helped you become something amazing. You've changed into a diamond of unmatched brightness, like carbon under pressure. Natural law is defied by your perseverance. Your growth deviates from anticipated trends. Your developed traits include the whole range of human potential. While others focus on a single area of expertise, you are an expert in many areas. Your interactions are guided by your emotional intelligence, the strategic reasoning behind your choices. When others see only difficulties, the creative force creates solutions. All of these abilities have grown stronger inside of you. Your intuitive skills go beyond what is often understood. You see things that are not visible to the average person. The clarity of the insights is astonishing. Beneath the nice phrases, you can sense intents. Identify trends before they become completely apparent. Feel changes in energy that other people can't see. This enhanced awareness acts as a compass and a shield, pointing you in the direction of genuine connection and shielding you from deceit. The spiritual development is reflected in the bodily change. Without requesting anything, your presence compels attention. You are surrounded by a sense of serene assurance. Your energy is so remarkable that even strangers notice it. The steadiness of your gaze, the rhythm of your speaking, the way you walk across space. The ongoing internal change is reflected in each of these components. You have not achieved the pinnacle of your progress. Every day offers fresh strength, fresh insight, and fresh growth. The trajectory is always rising. The acceleration astounds anyone who watches your trek. The person who left now observes from a distance, realizing too late the greatness of the entity they were unable to identify, while you were standing in front of them, attempting to establish a connection. This is a message from Mike, the creator of the astral atom-powered obsidian inner order. Look, I understand that you came here to watch the one video you selected, but I need a moment. I may never be able to forgive myself if I don't say this into the field right now. Some of us were mistreated, banished, born into flames, and plagued by facts that no one else could accept. That does not imply that we are doomed. It indicates that we were selected to pass through the veil and return with the map. Within the Obsidian Inner Order, we meet in person once a week via Zoom. I mean it when I say real people. A former military drone operator who now controls the device with his thoughts. A rich CFO in Noosa gave up everything to pursue a career as a psychic. A diabolical group once imprisoned a spiritual healer. A sage, a seer, a soul who discovered the gnosis after abandoning Mormonism. When their calling struck, these are the people who sacrificed everything, and that's just a sneak peek. Additionally, all calls are recorded. Thus, you may hit play and experience the field once again while you're alone yourself, crawling through the muck of your own waking. Perhaps this is for you, but it's not for everyone. Do you think you'll fit in with us? Join the Inner Order of Obsidians. The description contains a link. We appreciate everyone's support of the broadcast. Without you, we simply could not do this. They get panicked as reality sets in. They rush to find answers, methods to return to what they threw away. They practice words, create strategies, and run situations through their minds. With every hour that goes by, the desperate boot becomes bigger. They look for the ideal mixture that may open the door they themselves bang shut, yet they are anxious and sleep-deprived. The strategies that used to be effective are no longer effective. The enchantment that unlocked doors doesn't work against your advanced consciousness. The deception that persuaded others is ineffective in light of your enhanced awareness. Before they can completely develop, the half-truths that made for easy escapes fall apart. Their arsenal is empty in front of your changed appearance. They realize with increasing dread that you see right through them. Your vision now breaks through the meticulously crafted facade they put up for the outside world. No disguise is sufficiently thick to conceal their actual character from your view. Primal terror is triggered by this knowledge. The fear of being seen and understood in all their complexity and inconsistencies. Every possible strategy breaks down when examined closely. When weighed against the extent of their treachery, their apologies seem insufficient. Promises are meaningless in light of their inconsistent past. In comparison to the genuine relationship they broke, gifts seem insignificant. No tactic can withstand serious examination on its own. They have produced a complex web of repercussions from which there is no way forward. Around them, the trap springs close. They put themselves in a trap. They are stuck in limbo right now, hesitant to face the finality of severance and unable to go ahead toward reconnection. Their misery is exacerbated by this paralysis. As they face the reality, every instant drags into an agonizing eternity. Once closed, certain doors cannot be opened again. After burning, some bridges just leave ashes in the space between two coasts. Now notice how different your world is from theirs. They flop while you thrive. They are crushed from all sides by financial demands. Bills mount up. Possibilities fade. Security dissipates. Their spiritual bankruptcy is reflected in the material world. Instead of thriving, everything they come into contact with appears to wither. Their social ties are shallow and unauthentic. They are left feeling empty by superficial conversations, emphasizing the significant bond they gave up with you. Shared memories are forgotten, laughing is forced, and conversations seem empty. For them, time now acts differently. When they face reality, the hours crawl agonizingly. In front of them, the future seems like an eternally barren plain. There is no solace in the present. The past cannot be changed. Now, stuck in this awkward situation, they helplessly watch as possibilities pass them by. They are continuously tormented by the other world, the untrod road. Unbidden flashes of what may have been passed across their minds. The joy they may have enjoyed, the development they may have gone through. They are haunted by these phantom possibilities more and more, making their present life seem like a faint, unsatisfactory shadow in contrast. For them, time now acts differently. When they face reality, the hours crawl agonizingly. In front of them, the future seems like an eternally barren plain. There is no solace in the present. The past cannot be changed. Now, stuck in this awkward situation, they helplessly watch as possibilities pass them by. They are continuously tormented by the other world, the untrod road. Unbidden flashes of what may have been passed across their minds, the joy they may have enjoyed, the development they may have gone through. They are haunted by these phantom possibilities more and more, making their present life seem like a faint, unsatisfactory shadow in contrast. Now, what are they going to give you? They are always tormented by this question. They have nothing in comparison to your richness. It seems impossible to overcome the imbalance. While they come with the gifts of beggars, you have the riches of an emperor. There is no way to solve the mathematical equation. Their smallness in comparison to your size leads to an unresolved issue. Because of their offenses, a mere apology is insufficient. When compared to acts that really caused hurt, words lose all value. When weighed against the extent of the betrayal you experienced, saying "I'm sorry" turns into an insult rather than an act of atonement. They are painfully aware of this deficiency. The gap they created cannot be filled by anything in their lexicon. Their possible contributions are insignificant in comparison to what you have created on your own. To someone who lives on independence, whatever help they may provide seems superfluous. For someone whose knowledge has transcended the realm of the ordinary, whatever insight they may provide appears simple. To someone who creates plenty on their own, whatever resource they may provide feels insufficient. They are totally confused by the change in hierarchy. They used to stand above you in some fictitious hierarchy of significance, but now they are far below, gazing up at things they are unable to reach. Their identity is destroyed and their self-perception is confused by this reversal. Who are they compared to your grandeur? There isn't a suitable response to this question. Unworthiness permeates their awareness as an objective evaluation of relative value rather than as performative self-flagellation. When they compare their character to yours, they discover that they fall short in every way. This realization is so clear that it eliminates any self-deception that may be consoling. In front of the reality of their relative inadequacies, they stand nude. And there is no way out of this reality. Your vision is focused on the future, whereas theirs is still stuck in the past. Within you, the suffering they caused has become knowledge. What seemed like a terrible loss now seems like a necessary release. The seeds of your being were nourished by the tears you wept. There was no waste. Everything aided in your development. Your connection to them is not at all like the attachment you had before. A calm neutrality now predominates where there previously was great feeling, such as love or hatred, desire or resentment. The ultimate triumph is this emotional liberation. They no longer have a special place in your emotional terrain. Their ability to influence your inner state has almost completely vanished. With perspective and distance, their actual character becomes clear. Once excused or downplayed behaviors now manifest in the right proportion. Looking at it from where you are now, the patterns become clear. Their shortcomings are openly acknowledged, without condemnation. There are no more illusions to distort your vision. Your whole spiritual structure has changed to make room for more profound realities. Once tormenting questions have been transformed into comprehension. The unknown has solidified into knowledge. Compared to previously, the cosmos seems more intentional and structured. It feels safe and spacious to be in this cosmic design. Your interpretation of every event, past, present, and future, is altered by this evolving viewpoint. They feel this change in you without really understanding what it is or how big it is. There has been a fundamental shift. There is no longer a person they knew. The person you have become functions on principles that are beyond their present comprehension. Through vibrational incompatibility rather than physical distance, this development puts you forever out of their grasp. It is difficult for different frequencies to communicate because your frequency has changed irrevocably. This chapter of your adventure now formally comes to an end as the cosmic mechanics come into play. Universal forces work together to close off the past and make room for the future. Both of you are now free to follow their own paths as the energy bonds that formerly bound you to this individual break. Beyond the physical and emotional, this separation takes place on other levels. The finished cycle is reflected in the reconfiguration of reality itself. The process is accelerated by your preparedness for this change. The weariness you experience in relation to this circumstance is a sign of accomplishment rather than failure. Lessons have been learned from the story. Each character has fulfilled their part. The story doesn't need to be developed any further. This conclusion is recognized by your soul before it is completely expressed by your conscious intellect. Have faith in this inner guidance that says enough. Events are perfectly planned by divine timing. Observe how conditions come together to allow for a clean separation. What formerly stood in the way of closure now vanishes. Once obstructed pathways now appear in front of you. As synchronicity grows, it is confirmed that this conclusion is correct. The cosmos permits and facilitates the completion of this cycle with little opposition. Just beyond the edge of this completeness are fresh beginnings. Before they materialize, they wait for you to fully let go of the past. The cosmic rule functions just like a mathematical formula. Before it can be filled, space must be created. The exact circumstances needed for your next evolutionary phase to begin are created by the void left by this essential termination. As this portal shuts behind you, sense the change in energy. What universal law has sealed cannot be opened by any power. Both seriousness and joy are brought forth by the conclusion, acknowledging both the newly achieved independence and the lessons learned from experience. As you turn your face toward the eastern horizon, where fresh light is already breaking, remember what has come to an end. You are presently at a time of unparalleled manifestation power. Your ideas, your words, and your intents come to life at a rate that has never been seen before. Your elevated vibrational state triggers this rapid production. Your ability to influence events via both conscious and unconscious projection has increased along with your frequency. When your true self and cosmic forces connect, momentum is created that helps you reach your greatest potential. You no longer struggle against the flow. Rather, you follow the strong current of global wisdom. Challenges still arise, but they are seen as chances for growth rather than as barriers to be surmounted. Before you knock, doors open. Unexpected opportunities present themselves. Resources come up just when they're required. The right people come in at the right time to enhance your trip. Your harmonious interaction with global forces is reflected in these coordinated events. Your openness to receiving draws completeness in all its manifestations. Your actual potential starts to show itself in unexpected ways. When situations change, abilities that were previously latent become active.